Club Sports.
Everybody, this is Don LaGreca from the Michael K. Show. When it comes to talking sports, Bob Walters and Brett Grasso are the authority.
Can't wait.
When it comes to talking sports, they're the authority. It's Bob Walters and Brett Grasso. It's Locked Up Sports, and it starts now.
Bring them out, bring them out, hey. Bring them out, bring them out, yo. Bring them out, bring them out, hey. Bring them out.
Here we go. Bob Walters, Brett Grasso from the Brian Gunzel Studios. This is Locked Up Sports. The Giants lose a tough one. The Jets get their first win of the season. And the Mets, 2 days in a row, blow wins, make them losses. They are now struggling. They head home for the last week of the season. Brett, what's up? Congratulations to the Jets. A big win. Not a great win, but a big win.
Nobody cares about great. You're gonna do great. Like, no, it was a horrible first half. I'll tell you that much. Like, this team has been playing the preseason straight through that whole San Francisco game, straight through that first half. And if that second half didn't show me something different, especially with the defense, even though they still didn't have a great second half, I was honestly going to be like, no, this is who they are. You know what I mean? Pretty soon it is who you are. I don't want to hear about your great defense and all your other stuff. But let's get back to Aaron Rodgers. First win as a Jet.
Yeah, but he wasn't very good. He wasn't very good. He was being outplayed the whole first. The Jets. I'll tell you where the Jets won this game. When Levis, the Titans are going in up 7-0. Yep. It's like late first quarter. They're on the 10-yard line, and Levis just tries to throw an underhand, make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And they turn it over. If they go up 14-0 there, the Jets. I don't know if the Jets come back and win this thing. I mean, it was a lot tighter than it should have been.
It was definitely a lot tighter than it should have been, but I think that at that point, I think the Jets showed at that point they finally could muster some offense after that. I didn't think they were going to do anything, honestly, at this point where it was like, and I didn't feel like it's Rodgers, and I didn't feel like it's the running game, I didn't feel like it was the offense. I felt like it was Nathaniel Hackett. And you're just watching a guy just go, trap up, like run right up the middle, no misdirection, no someone's going somewhere else, no anything different, run pass, and throwing, dinking and dunking in a way that wasn't working. Well, I mean, eventually he did finally make some adjustments. Oh my Lord, like finally this team made a couple adjustments to have quick inside outside throws, give Rodgers, the pocket was breaking down pretty fast.
He got hit a couple times. He got hit. He held onto the ball a lot.
He got rolled around too.
But listen, Rodgers. I think both Rodgers and Breece Hall, both of them have been disappointing in the first 2 seasons. In the first 2 weeks, Rodgers 18 of 30, 176 yards. I mean, that's not great numbers. Breece Hall last week wasn't great. This week only 62 yards on 14 carries. You gotta have better than that. And the defense is so-so.
And honestly, it was this. Today, they would have had an even better game if they just kept feeding the ball to Braylon Allen. He is showing us that guy is a big back. He can run the ball. He can take it from out of the backfield. He can take the pass. I'm telling you, he had 2 touchdowns today. They did nothing with him. Did not bring him out at all until after Rodgers was out of the game when he was in San Francisco. And today, Breece Hall was going nowhere. But every time Allen was touching the ball, something was happening. And the Jets still did the whole, we're going to give Breece his touches, which is fine. But something actually started happening there, which is honestly was one of the biggest sparks for the Jets offense.
Breece Hall was good out of the backfield, 7 catches. He was their leading receiver as far as yards go, I believe, yeah. No, I'm sorry, he was second to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson had a nice over-the-shoulder catch on that last drive. That was a big play. Breece Hall had 7 catches, 52 yards, 4 catches for 57 yards for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, he had one big one, but Hall had one big one.
Yeah,
honestly, the rest was a lot of misconnections. They're just not there yet with the timing of where you're going to be when it breaks down. Like, and I've seen that with everybody. Like, Rodgers, like, used to have that. That was his, like, no matter what happened, like, you watch the best quarterbacks in the league, no matter what happens, say everybody's covered, they know they're going to CMC and he's getting us 5 yards. Like, the ball's already out there. You already know where he's going to be. And so they started to get there a little bit more with the checkdowns. It was so all over the place. It wasn't even close. He was missing them. They weren't in the right spot. Little things are starting to come together. I feel like the offensive line finally had a little bit of some good run blocking. Pass blocking hasn't been bad, but if you're looking for 5-6 seconds, you're just not going to get it in the NFL now.
They blocked the punt again.
Big special teams play. That block punt, another one that just
He came right up the middle. He just blocked it right off the foot. He took it right off the kicker's foot.
And if you watched right before the play, they actually had a different alignment. They shifted the alignment and they pushed everybody to the other side of the ball, and which isn't where it came from. And so they didn't. It screws up who's going to block who. And the guy made one move on the guy who was supposed to get blocked. He didn't get a chip on him, and free run to the. It was just that was it.
So the Jets
really.
So the Jets 1-1.
I mean, the Jets this is a big costly loss for the Jets. The Jets lost early on in the game to a foot injury. CJ Mosley went down. I don't know what that's going to be all about. He looked slow already, so I don't know if he came in like that. Because let me tell you, when he came out of the game and his replacement came in, nobody's going to be better than CJ Mosley. But you ever see where like a younger guy comes in who's not a little banged up, and at least they're
I got my chance. I'm going to go do it.
Right, because when a linebacker's hurt and they have to match up versus certain guys out of the backfield, if you're a step behind, it doesn't end well. And that's what was happening with C.J. Mosley. As you saw, this defense hasn't done anything. But the big one was Jermaine Johnson going down with what looks like a season-ending Achilles injury. He was one of the guys who we're really expecting on this defensive front to put up a rush once we lost lost Huff. Hassan Reddick's not here. We are really expecting Johnson to step up.
They got to get Hassan Reddick in. You got to get him in here. What are you doing?
We got to get more than Hassan Reddick now. Now that's not even enough. Let me tell you, Hassan Reddick is not going to be enough.
Yeah, but you have an all-pro linebacker sitting on the side. An all-pro linebacker that you've traded for sitting on the sideline.
He needs to be here tomorrow. Like that needs to be yesterday. That needs to be like good for him. Like. But I don't know what the Jets' stance is on that.
Jets need to just give him what he wants. Listen, find a number that you can live with. That you can live with. You're going to give him what he wants, but you can live with the number and just do it. Why would you trade for this guy? And then he sits on the sideline, and you've already got back a couple like $2 million bucks.
I think the Jets were ready to take like 1 year out of the guy, and they thought they could play him. And they're losing in their way right now. They're losing. I think everybody's losing. To be honest with you,
everybody's losing.
Like. It's just not going to end well, and he's starting to look bad, and I'm sure the guys in the clubhouse don't like it, and I
think the guys in the clubhouse probably understand.
No, I don't think they're against him. I don't think they're against it, but they don't like not having him. Like they're usually guys who are like, "Oh my God, do you see what we're doing here? Do you see how we're struggling?" Like you want someone else to step up and be there. Like whether it be mad at the front office or whether it be mad at the other player. I think they're probably equally a little like both of you guys get it together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I don't care who you. They're mad at everybody,
and
they're
Jets
just mad because they want to win. They see what a big thing they have here. This never happens for the Jets. We never have a group like this. We never have a chance. And right now it feels like we're on the edge of blowing it.
They're right on the edge.
Totally
Today they were teetering over. They were teetering over the edge in the first half. And let's be real, every week this thing goes longer, the Jets are losing, right? The defense looked terrible last week. They got run all over. This week they were so-so. They were better, but they didn't play. I mean, Tennessee's not exactly a powerhouse team. And you got this young quarterback, at
least they started blitzing a little bit today because, geez, I watched them not blitz one time versus San Francisco. You have these great cornerbacks, and they're all supposed to be lock-up defense. You know why you have them? Like when you had Darrelle Revis, when you had everybody else back there, when you had Ed Reed, is because you blitz and you let them take zero coverage and you force tough throws and you make turnovers. That's what happens. Yeah. And you might give up a big play every once in a while to it, but that's the risk you take because if you're not aggressive versus guys like Brock Purdy and versus, honestly, any decent quarterback and you give them 5, 6, 7 seconds, you are going to lose. I don't care how good your defense is.
So I think the Jets have underwhelmed massively in these
Aaron
first
Rodgers
two games.
Had a better day than you're saying. Like I honestly,
when it counted, I think. Listen, he threw some good passes.
If you look at the numbers, that's not it. Like,
no, you're right.
I'm not.
You're right.
We can go by numbers.
But he threw some good passes.
He made a couple. No, he made those reads where he lined up Breece Hall against the linebacker, then threw an absolute dime over the top and just says, "Listen, that's Rodgers making that happen. That doesn't just show up there. He literally went, oh, okay, I see what we have. Let's change it to this play and do it." Rodgers accounted for a big chunk of this win, and I feel like the first time that we've seen that downfield threat, which then all of a sudden, as you saw later in the game, as soon as they had those deeper threats, the running game finally opened up. These guys had to take an extra step back, and it makes it that much easier to start running the ball. And all of a sudden, they started absolutely running. They have that two-headed, running game now. And once you get to it and they're ahead, that's the team I expected to see. Now, it was not pretty. It was one of the uglier wins I've seen. The first half was awful, but I do see positive things from Aaron Rodgers. I feel like we've gotten through.
I think you needed to, but you couldn't go 0-2 on the adjustment period.
No, that was the big one we got. So we got through it with a win and feeling pretty good about yourselves. We got a game coming up on Thursday versus the Patriots, which
another
is
short week
toss up. I don't know what that game is.
No, the Jets the Patriots are not very good. Listen, the Patriots won that first week against Cincinnati. Then they lost in overtime. The Jets should be a home opener. But today, I think there's somebody that is not getting the credit for the Jets, and he had a bad day today. When Tennessee was driving up 7-0 ball on the 9-yard line, I posted on Facebook, Jets in trouble, Titans came to play today. The very next play was the turnover, and the Jets went the other way and never looked back.
Oh, you do. Oh,
and I had a bad day because of the Mets too. I screwed the Mets.
You've been throwing the New York sports world off its axis all week, Bob. And let me tell you, I was so mad. And we'll get into a little bit of Mets stuff, but this whole Mets losing 2 games in a row,
it's bad.
I don't usually get into this, but it's not even about being, Bob's the one who caused it. No. We're Mets fans, and I'm also a Jets fan. We need every advantage we can get.
Literally.
We need nothing. We need no bad juju. That's the whole thing. It's not that you caused it. It's that any tiny little ripple right now may cost us everything.
It was such a quick turnaround.
I don't like it.
It was such a quick turnaround that I posted that on Facebook, and the first comment came 3 minutes later, and it was like, what are you talking about? It was Keith Lobb, and he said, what are you talking about? The Titans have just turned the ball over twice. The Jets are up. What are you talking about? And I'm like, no. That's why. This is why the Jets are up. So
yours to me was the Mets Phillies. Now the Mets are up 4-0. We beat Philly the night before. Our offense is humming.
11-3.
Unstoppable. It was 4-1 at this point because Harper already hit a home run. Now Bob writes, "We're going to win the division." Is what he writes to me. And I look back and I see Harper in the on-deck circle. I go, what kind of sick person writes that when Bryce Harper...
I didn't know he was in the on-deck circle.
We, as a team, are the only team who could put him back on heater, who's not playing well at all. And all of a sudden, before I can hit send...
2-run home run.
Crack. Off the bat. Harper's there. I don't even have to know. I know what happens next. I don't even need to watch the Mets game yesterday or today because I know there's no chance they win another game in Philly at that point. And today was equally bad.
So the Jets with a win, a sigh of relief type of win. You got through. Like I said, they're not clicking yet. They're a good team. It's not that they're not a good team. They're just not clicking.
No, they're in bad shape. Their defense took a big hit today. They're in trouble.
And the offense just doesn't look great, right? But they're gonna eventually hit their stride, and you can't. But you can't limp into your.
Offense is gonna be okay.
Yeah,
offense is going to be okay. They're going to start being able to. No, if the play calling doesn't start this whole vanilla, where we have no real misdirection type of play calling, we're in trouble. But I think this is just the beginning. I think that the playbook is going to expand in weeks 3, 4, and 5 as we go on. It's very hard. Listen, this team's only played together for so many weeks, and this is the first time we've had them on the field together. So it's hard to get all these rookies and all the other people on the same page, which everybody's kind of a rookie in that freaking clubhouse now because nobody's ever played together. So let's see what happens in a couple of weeks. I really hope they expand this play calling because that vanilla play calling is not going to beat anybody. Everybody knew what was happening the entire day, and we were just playing an inferior team.
Now the Giants, on the other hand, look, the Giants aren't going anywhere this year. This was a rough loss.
Positive things to look at.
Yeah, Daniel Jones looked competitive. Today. Okay, he looked competitive. He had the same numbers as Aaron Rodgers, by the way, 16-28, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns. He looked competitive. Right. Okay,
right,
and they looked okay. Washington's not a good team. They should have won both of these. They could have won both these games. Although the Minnesota one, Minnesota's blowing out. They won again today, but today's game against Washington,
97-yard touchdown by Sam Darnold.
the kicker goes down on the opening kickoff. Now you don't have anybody that can make it an extra point. Okay, you don't have anybody on your punter. You're telling me the punter never played soccer? Come on.
First of all, Dable knew that he was injured prior to this game.
See, that I didn't
know. Like, and he decided not to put the rookie kicker on the roster. And let me tell you, you know who lost out the most in this? I lost $1,800 on every 1 o'clock team's gonna kick a field goal. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just throw a couple bucks on it. Every 1 o'clock team to kick a field goal, no problem, right? And like you said, bad timing. 30 seconds later, I hear Gano's down, like right after. And you know what? Every team kicks a field goal except the Giants. But even worse is, I thought they did because it was 18-0. I was like, one of those has got to be a field goal, right?
They were missing 2-point conversions. They went for what happened was he missed the first extra point, and then he went for 2-point conversions. But like, you can't tell me he can't make an extra point. Listen, the Giants had the ball. Tie game, 18-18, with about 3 minutes left on the 22-yard line, 4th down. That's a 39-yard field goal. At some point in my life, I could make a 39-yard field goal. Your punter, an NFL punter, has got to be able to make a 39-yard field goal. At least make it competitive, right? At least kick it. He can kick it the distance, right? Mm-hmm. Come on. You got to. They tried no field. He misses 1 extra point. That's it. You don't even give him another chance. He's got to be able to kick extra points.
I'll give you extra points.
Extra points at 35 yards, though, I think. Now, they're not those extra points that we grew up with.
No, I know that. But beyond that, I don't think is a gimme for anybody except for an NFL field goal kicker.
I don't know. Not a gimme. Not
anybody you can...
not a gimme, but he fits 70%.
Who's the guy last year? Who's the who I don't even know what his name is or what team it was now. Now the kicker goes down. They bring out a position player, and the guy drills like 5 field goals and a 40-yarder.
But but they're treating him as if he's the kid on game day kicking the field goal on College Game Day at ESPN. They have a guy kick a field goal each week, trying to make it, and it's inevitably goes like 3 yards and then smashes into one of the people lining the sides. And they can't because they all kick it like straight on, toe on, and it's just a disaster. The guy yesterday lost his shoe. They got a $60,000 scholarship on the line.
You know what it is? They should know because it should be
someone there has to play soccer, right?
No, they have to have it like they have someone like you.
Yeah, it's got to be close,
like they do in hockey.
Oh, an emergency kicker.
Like his job's like
both teams. He plays for both teams.
Yeah, what is it? He like sharpens the skate.
Yeah, something like that.
The skate sharpener comes out, and they're like, and the guy went in. And he put up a win.
He won the game. Yeah. That's a great story.
But he didn't.
And he plays for both teams. He's officially on both teams. If the 2 goalies go down, he jumps into whichever team.
He was like an accountant.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was. He was an accountant and like a skate sharpener or something, or equipment manager.
Be like, listen, and it would be nice because they'll be like, listen, our first responder of the game, Bob Walters, is also
the place kicker.
Here he is, 30-yarder to go to the playoffs.
I mean, listen, I see. To me, it's just the punter obviously has a strong leg. He's obviously he probably kicked field goals in high school, right? An NFL punter probably kicked for his college team too.
No, some of these guys don't. Is the Australian rules?
No, that's not a thing though. That's like one. That's like one. The Jets had the Australian rules guy. That wasn't.
There's a few people. No, there's some guys out there who were soccer their whole lives, and he's like, no, listen, you're just a punter now, and like we can punt, and like you punt.
But he played soccer, right? He played soccer, so he knows how to do it.
They don't even. Some of them are like, what is a field goal? Like, that's how bad some of these kickers are. They don't even know what a field goal is.
And it cost the Giants the game, and they lose. Now they're 0-2. Listen, the Giants, like I said, the Giants aren't going anywhere. No. But yeah, and Daniel Jones was competitive. He was competitive today, but still, it's not good enough.
It was Neighbors.
Neighbors looks good. Neighbors looks real good. He looks like a big
other plays where they gave him the ball in space. They gave him a nice little
coming across the middle,
a little tiny, a crosser where you just give him the ball, let him run.
No, Neighbors looks like a star. He looks like a star, like a Victor Cruz type of situation.
And that will make someone like Jones be a serviceable quarterback. That opens up the running game. Like Singletary looked good also. Honestly, you win this game if you have a kicker on your freaking roster.
Yeah, they win. They win because they probably don't even have to kick the field goal at the end. Because
Giants win the game, I win 1,800. This would have been a great day.
Yeah.
Ruined.
Ruined.
Dable and Diaz. Ruined my day.
Graham Gano going down with a hamstring injury. So, to me, it just doesn't make sense. How you don't have anybody that can kick a field goal, and it's not like they were lining up for a 48-yarder in the snow or in the rain. We're talking 39 yards in a nice Tennessee summer afternoon, and the guy can't hit it.
Doug Flutie drop kick. Anybody.
Flutie could have kicked it. They would have kicked it with Flutie.
He drop kicked it. Yeah. You remember that, right?
Yeah. No, I remember Belichick put him out there for the drop kick.
Belichick let him do it.
It's the only one. You and Gunzel used to always talk. I never even knew it was a rule. I was like, they're long. They don't know what they're talking about. You guys used to always be like, drop kick. He used to tell me that you could run down the field as you're running for a touchdown and stop and drop kick it. And I'm like, I don't think that's the rule. But so the Giants are 0-2. The Jets are 1-1. Elsewhere around the league, Jets Thursday night coming up. Other scores around the league. You had
home opener.
You had quickly. What about the Dolphins on Thursday night? Tua's got to be done, right? He can't play anymore. You can't run it. If someone's smart to tell me
or what should happen,
who's going to play him though? You can't like ethically put him in the game anymore, right? He's going to be sitting in the corner thinking he's a glass of orange juice when he's 40.
Let me tell you, I am 100% against him. I don't think that man should ever touch the field again. I felt the same way last time. Last time they clowned on him, putting him back in a week after that one concussion.
And the one that they put him back in the game, remember he was stumbling around and then they put him in the game.
That was the most disgraceful thing I've ever seen. They don't understand that compounds how much this affects him. Like, he may not have had as much of a concussion if they didn't let him go play that last
And his concussions are bad. He's like laying on the ground shaking and stuff. Like, they're bad.
Oh, no. It is a terrible sign to have that stuff happen. And that has happened to me on the softball field. It's a horrific thing. There's no way you feel okay. But let me tell you, it's been so long since his last one. In 2 weeks from now, they're going to do assessments on him. If he's not sick, doesn't feel sick, if he can go do a workout without feeling sick, and if they go do all this neuro checks and he has nothing, they're going to clear him.
Yeah, but I think the Dolphins coach is the one coach that might be smart enough to be like, hey, listen, I'm not doing this to you. Right? He might be the guy.
I believe that. It's not going to be up to that. This is the next step this is the choice, and it's going to come down to money. They're going to go, listen, you can play. If he says, no, I'm not going to go play,
they're going to cut him.
He doesn't get paid.
I know. Oh, yeah, I know.
He doesn't get all that money. So he has to say yes.
And then they have to sit him.
$150 million if he says yes to go back. Now, if they don't clear him, he gets all the money. So if he's not able, he gets all the money.
But he'll eventually be cleared, though, right? He'll be cleared.
The doctors, they're going to clear him in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Unless he continues to have symptoms.
Because this is stuff that will affect him years down the road where it's going to really affect him.
Bottom line of what I'm trying to say is Tua will be on the field this year.
Yeah, I guess he has no choice, probably.
He may be on the field in 4 weeks from now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now,
I don't think he should be. But I really believe that's what's going to happen.
The shocker of today was the Saints blowing out the Cowboys 44-19 in Dallas. Dallas, I think, was their home opener. Saints 2-0. Cowboys are 1-1. Now the Lions lost to the Bucks. Another random one. The Packers.
You were so against me getting Carr. I wanted Carr. Remember we were talking about,
I didn't like Carr.
You would take David Carr. You would take David Carr over. I looked over. I go, for the value of what you're paying to get him. Not for the contracts. The contracts we know now all turn out to be pretty close. But it was what you were paying to have him traded over and how old he was. I'm telling you, David Carr. I think
up to this point, the most impressive.
They were out, sent out the pasture.
The most impressive team has got to be the Vikings. They blow out the Giants. Okay, you think you're not putting much into it. Then they come back this week and they beat the 49ers. And they hold them to 17 points. The Vikings 2-0. The Browns win. They beat the Jaguars. The Panthers are a disastrous team. They're terrible. They got blown out by the Chargers. Blew them out.
Bryce Young's going to go down as one of the worst number one picks ever. No, he's not good. He's not going to be good.
No,
he's like a child playing quarterback.
The Chiefs are losing right now to the Bengals, and the Bengals have their own issues going on there. Bengals need a win. but they're playing the
Pittsburgh,
Chiefs.
Mike Tomlin's over here up 7-0, always just winning games
Tomlin.
with nobody.
Pittsburgh has had 3 coaches for the last 100 years, and they're all like unbelievable. Pittsburgh is always going to be in the playoffs. Always.
No, and like outside of like the Roethlisberger years, like they're just average. Like
They went to the Super Bowl with
working-class
Neil
team.
O'Donnell. Neil O'Donnell brought him to the Super Bowl. Remember?
I like Neil O'Donnell. He's one of the. Listen, when you look back on Jets quarterback history, Neil O'Donnell's right up there, top 5 Jets ever.
Yeah.
It's not like a tough list to get on. Like I'm number 8. So.
So now, Brett, the Mets 2 days in a row, they blow games. They lose 2-1 today. They coughed up a 4-run lead yesterday. That's the one that really hurts. This one hurts too, though, because it's the late innings. It's the Peterson pitch is great.
Lindor's back. Lindor, you see what's going on with that, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So Lindor, day
to day.
Day to day. No, they put him back in the lineup today. So ready? They put him back in the lineup.
No, yeah,
today.
I saw.
Lindor starts, top of the order, gets a hit. Nice, right?
To lead off the game.
Down there like he runs down to first base like he's my grandmother. No, does not look good. Comes out of the game in the second. Okay, Lindor now having an MRI tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, it might.
It's
all over.
Let me tell you, it's not about how he feels right now. If that comes back as a bulging or herniated disc, he's done. Done. And let me tell you, I think listen, a guy at his age, what it probably is, the way I saw what it was, I think he's like 3 or 4 days he's going to be back. But the team, a guy like him will play every day. He would have went in and played yesterday. Today he forced himself into the lineup.
The first in 196
you
game.
need to step in and give him the time off. We're about to go play the Nationals. If you're going to give him a break, you give him a break and you make sure he's healthy for the last 11 games of the year.
Yeah, but the Nationals aren't going to be easy either. Because the Nationals have a bunch of kids who don't care. They're up there playing their big league debuts, their first taste of the major leagues.
We're one swing away from not having Lindor play, not only for the rest of the year, but possibly into the playoffs.
Yeah. No, I know. I say sit him. But I'm just saying the Nationals, I don't think it's going to be an easy series.
For a day or two, like they need to have a day. Like he's going to have imaging. So I hope this comes back as nothing, inflammation or whatever. Like that'll make me feel better. Because if there's anything else going on, back stuff is no joke.
Peterson again, great today. Padres 0-0 with the Giants, bottom of the 5th. What did the Braves it tonight? And the Diamondbacks are up 5-0. It seems like maybe the Diamondbacks finally getting out of it. They got blown out yesterday. They've been terrible.
No, they've been back and forth. Let me tell you, they're going to keep going. So let's hopefully they keep coming back to it. But
we need the Dodgers to win tonight.
Let me tell you, the reason the Mets did not go out and get a real setup man. They went out. They have a whole bunch of decent regular season relievers to fill in when you're losing by 2.
Yeah, the bullpen's been terrible. The bullpen was terrible all year.
Winning by 4. We have I know, but we didn't go out and get the one guy. We could have went and sold and traded some of our prospects. Somebody could have went for a 1 year. Here's your guy.
They did. They got 2 guys. They got 2 guys. That's who they thought they were going to be, though. It would
cost them a lot more. It would have cost them a lot more. They would have to do a top 20 prospect, top 10. Like I understand, it was a tough choice. You know why? They didn't know they were going to go on the run they went on.
No, they were on a run
team.
though. Remember when the All-Star?
No, they were a different team then. Though now all of a sudden it's like, wow, look, we're like, and all of a sudden you go, wow, if we knew what we knew then, I think they would have pushed harder and picked up. I don't even know what the name is. Whatever his name is, that was from the Marlins.
The Marlins. Yeah.
To the Padres or what?
Yeah, the Padres. The Padres took the whole Marlins bullpen.
Right. No, and let me tell you, one of those guys could have been ours. Like Marlins didn't care that much about interdivisional trading of guys, and we had the prospects. Not
I know
we had pitching guys, but they had the option, just one guy. And let me tell you, that's going to come back to bite them because that 8th inning, we don't know who to put in right now.
Yeah, but Peterson
and
that's why Peterson pitched in the 9th inning.
He's that's uncharted territory for him. He doesn't pitch.
Yeah, I know, but I liked it. I liked it. I liked leaving him in. Because who are you going to bring in?
The guy's been out there for hours. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. You want baseball today comes down to velocity, fresh arms, and late in the games. It doesn't even matter. I'm telling you, like once you have the third go around through the lineup, fourth go around, it's such a bad thing in baseball.
And they went back-to-back doubles.
Cardinal sin in baseball.
They almost got Iglesias' wrist broken too on that bunt in the 8th inning.
Oh my God!
Where he threw it into the runner.
The Mets have gotten lucky on a lot of them. I know McNeil got hurt on his, but have you seen how many balls that Marte and Alonso and Martinez, they've all taken off the wrists and off the ankles and off. And let me tell you, all of those in the past, be a broken finger, you're out for 6 weeks.
Marte's starting to hit, though. Marte's finally starting to hit.
Marte's starting to come around. And we just need some of these guys to start to keep it going. Like Vientos isn't. I've never seen a man watch and look at so many. He doesn't protect with 2 strikes.
He's
he doesn't
still a
know
kid.
How to protect with 2 strikes. I know that, but how do you go with the bat on your shoulder? Then it's 0-2, and there's something even relatively close. You got to go down trying to foul it off.
So they got 13 games left. They got 3 against the Nationals, 4 against the Phillies, then 3 Braves, 3 against against Milwaukee. How many games of 13 do they have to win to get in? What's your number? I'm saying 9. Minimum 9.
And what does that bring? What does that bring them to?
9 would bring them to 90 wins.
They need to hit 90.
That's going to be you think that's the number 90? That's what I said, 90.
I do. No, I think 90 is us getting ourselves into the playoffs. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get at this point.
I know, but that's us getting ourselves we have to play to 90. I do believe there's other routes. I see the Diamondbacks and even the Padres.
Diamondbacks could fall off. They've been for dropping like a rock.
That's what I'm seeing. And that's what I'm seeing is they're the ones who I truly believe that if we knew what the records were going to be over the next week, we could easily say, oh, my God, the Mets only have to go 500. Like, we don't know that right now. 90 is, I think, a guarantee. And I believe we might get in at like 88 based on the Padres.
No, based on the Diamondbacks. I think the Diamondbacks are going to fall out of it more.
Based on the Diamondbacks. But based on any of those.
But the Diamondbacks are going to win today. And they're going to be up 2 now on the Mets. So, I mean, now you're talking there's not much games left.
Okay, so there's 2 things that come down to it mattering, and that is that, 1, the Diamondbacks and Padres play the last 3 games together, okay? So the Diamondbacks and Padres playing those last 3 games together is whichever way it even goes.
You need somebody to sweep that series? Is that what you're rooting for there? Whoever wins the first game win the next 2?
Yeah, it depends. A sweep may be bad for us, like based on if it was the Padres are up 3 games
and they're sweet, yeah.
And
I
it
guess
could
you're
be
right.
like right in the edge of it, so it's going to be tough. But the other end is we're going to be playing Milwaukee, who has nothing to play for.
No, you're right, because they're going to have that
0.
Thing.
They're 8 games up. They don't have a position change.
They're going to
need to set up their rotation.
Set up the rotation
for the future. They are going to play their guys. They're going to all of a sudden bring it. I'm telling you. That doesn't mean anything.
You got to get to that. You got to get to that series.
Any guy can hit.
You got to get to that series, though, too. The National Series is going to be tough. I think the Nationals, these 3 games against the Nationals are going to be tougher than the 4 against the Phillies. Coming up.
I do. That's debatable because when it comes down to bullpens and when you get into these bad teams' bullpens, the Mets eat them alive. And playing the Phillies, when you get to their bullpen, it's not the same. Like that, those are tough guys to face. So I think the Mets are going to end up going up against some younger pitching this week. That this is the time to feast.
Well, here
if you're
you
a
go.
good team, your offense has got to show up.
Here you go.
This is it.
You got Minaya tomorrow. Feel good about that. Real good. Manaya's a Cy Young candidate
every time.
Tuesday you got McGill. The hit or miss, right?
He stepped up. No, not hit or miss. McGill,
he steps up for 4 innings. He gives you 4 innings.
He has given up 4 earned runs in the last 3 starts and has been the most essential part to come up and step up for us down the stretch. I'm going to tell you, Tyler McGill, that's the guy who's done it for us.
Wednesday, Quintana, who's been up and down, but his last start was great. Remember, he pitched a beautiful game and they lost.
Yeah.
So that's what we got. I think it sets up good for us, but listen, and there's gonna be big crowds, right? It's gonna be they're gonna sell the place out. Can you sell Mets fans go to the game? I'm gonna go to at least 1, maybe 2 of these Nationals games, and definitely what you were talking Sunday night, maybe, right? The last game of the season.
I'm honestly still looking at Friday night versus the Phillies.
I might,
Thursday night, the Jets, Patriots. So I'm gonna watch both of those at home, and then Friday night.
Friday night.
Mets, Phillies.
Okay. Friday. Listen,
and then maybe Sunday night baseball.
and I don't want
listen,
any.
I'm not.
I don't want empty seats either. I'm still pissed about the playoffs 2 years ago when all those empty seats. Get your ass to the game. They're giving deals. It's not that expensive. You could go to a baseball game for cheap, a regular season game. I bet they'll be a little more expensive here this week, but you're looking at $20. You can get in the game. You have $20, right?
Well, I'll tell you right now. For $60. You
Decent
would have been
seats.
sitting dead behind the plate.
Okay.
In the upper deck, but in the front box.
But good. But some of the best seats in the house.
They're
that's
going to
not
go
bad.
up. They're going to be a little more expensive, but
It's going to be $8 like it usually is, but
it goes
okay.
by the weather.
And Friday night
weather in New
Nah, I don't know if it goes by the weather. These are big games now. Now you're going to have the people, the diehards.
The prices drop. If it downpours, it's going to drop. I can tell you that.
If it rains, the prices will drop. So there we go.
Bob, this is what we've been waiting for. I mean, the Jets won with Aaron Rodgers for the first time today. Daniel Jones looked the future of the Giants. Daniel Jones.
No, I haven't been waiting for any of this. The Mets lost and the Giants lost.
Did you see that the future connection of Daniel Jones to Malik Neighbor today?
No.
You're going to see that 1,000 times.
I could have thrown those passes. He ran a little slant, a little crossing pattern, 5 yards.
With the play. Oh, no, you guys are golden.
The Giants are done. Now, I wanted to finish tonight, Brett. I wanted to finish tonight with Shannon Sharp and his sex romp.
Yeah.
Amidst gay rumors of him being gay, he accidentally went on Instagram Live. He had the button pushed. He was on Instagram Live. You heard the noises. He was having sex with a woman in his house, and then he found out afterwards, was it real? Is it fake? People are saying he's gay, he's straight, he was doing it to prove he's not gay. What's going on with Shannon Sharp?
Well, you know,
he's also a spokesman for Viagra.
People were accusing him on the podcast, and I think it's a lot of baiting of, just trying to get people to follow.
Unless they're his gay lover, they don't know if he's gay or not. Right? Let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, totally. But I think to me it was staged. To me it was totally staged. He's doing it to dispel those rumors.
Now, when you say staged, do you mean paid a girl to sit there and moan, or did he have sex with a woman?
Oh, no. You're dumb if you totally stage it. You want to actually get involved and do it, because then you can't really lie. Be like, no, he actually just paid me just to stand there and make noise.
Yeah.
You want to no, you got to commit. You got to commit, whether or not you're into it or not.
He's got to go.
That's what you're going for. If that's the whole point of this, which again,
do you think Viagra had any say in it? He's a spokesman for Viagra. Do you think they're in on it at all?
Was some kind of was it Viagra?
Yeah, he's a spokesman, he's a spokesman for Viagra.
No, I think it was a multi-pronged setup. I think it was I don't think it was specific to any one thing. I think he was this covers so many angles.
Oh, and it's great publicity. And he's banging some chick, and then you don't know who the girl is.
Any news is good news. It's more money for the podcast. It's more listeners. We're talking about it right now. It's more money for his commercials. It dispels the rumors of him being whatever he wants to be or isn't trying to portray.
But it doesn't, because we're sitting here asking, did he do it because he's gay? We're bringing that in. The rumors are still there. And I could care less if he's gay or not. It really is irrelevant. I don't even see why anybody would care. But he apparently does care. Because people have brought it up, and I've heard it.
And I care that he cares.
Yeah, whatever. But
if he didn't care, I wouldn't care either.
I didn't know about it for 3 days.
He clearly cares.
Yeah. And if he didn't care, whatever. But I knew about it 3 days after. Someone mentioned something about Shannon Sharp I saw, and I went and looked at it. Did you listen to the tape? Parts of it?
I did.
Do
you know what's funny is? And when did I listen to it? It's funny because it popped up on whatever. I was scrolling through and it just popped into the reel of whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. Part of me wanted to hear it, but I was like, let me hear if it's fake.
No, I wanted to hear it. Everybody wants to hear it. Whether they admit it or not, you want to hear it.
It happened, and I'm almost positive I was at work when it happened, but I have my earbuds in. But I'm listening now, and I'm on my break at work. And it's in the earbuds, but after about 30 seconds, I think to myself, what if I'm not hearing this through the earbuds?
Oh, yeah, I've done that before. Been I don't know. If I'm walking down the street or something, I'm listening to something, maybe it's not. Because you catch someone look at you.
I was like, do you understand? Everybody can hear everything, where I'm taking my break. The whole medical unit would have heard.
Yeah.
The entire.
You watching a porn is what they
think. The Shannon Sharp thing. I would have came out and be like, no, it's the Shannon Sharp one with the.
And I get that sometimes. Sometimes if I'm listening to something that's embarrassing or I don't want people to know I'm listening to it, it's a song that's
Giants game.
Giants game. Or it's a song that I like that I know is not, that I don't want people to know that I like, right? I'll catch someone on the subway. They're like, look at me. And I'll be like, oh my God, can they hear this? Did they? I just got to look like they could hear what's coming out. They definitely, they can't hear it. But for some reason, I get all paranoid about it. And I'm like, oh shit, they can hear it,
So here's a good one. So we're I'm on vacation. It's my buddies, and we're upstate at like a lake house, and everybody's drinking, beers by the thing, and we got the speaker out and the whole deal. And my buddy goes to sleep or whatever, and he leaves. He's the one who was playing the Bluetooth on his speaker. And next thing you know, we're all sitting around by the thing. But
he went down.
And a Shannon Sharp type of thing starts playing through the whole lake. Like the whole lake.
Oh, that's great.
We're dying.
And nobody did he figure it out? Did it like go off abruptly?
He quickly got turned off. Like it was clearly registered. But we held off until the next morning when we were all like,
sounded like a good movie you were watching there last night.
And all of a sudden we were it was so good.
Oh, that's funny. So, all right, so a mix and match day. Giants lose, Mets lose, Jets get a win. Shannon Sharp gets laid.
Week.
What are you gonna do?
Good for him. Finally.
So, are we going to any of these games? You want to go? You don't want to go to any of the Nationals games?
I'm just gonna be working. I'm off Thursday. Worse. No, Bob, you understand. If we're not the number one seed, you know how it works. All 3 games.
Yeah, all 3 games. That's what I'm saying. We'll go to wherever it is. Where's it going to be? Milwaukee?
Okay, yeah, which is Milwaukee again. Yeah, Milwaukee.
Okay.
Again.
I'll go to Milwaukee. Beer town.
I would go to Milwaukee.
All right. So then book it. All right. So that's going to do it for us. Enjoy the football tonight. What's the game tonight?
Shannon Sharp is what I'm watching.
Do you even know what game is on tonight? I don't know.
I'm watching the Shannon Sharp video.
I got work tonight, so it's not me. I'm not going to be watching it. I got to go get some sleep. I got to go to work an overnight shift. Giants lose because they have no kicker. Jets look okay. They win. They beat a Tennessee team. Now they go home. Short week on Thursday. Mets got to get it together. 2 straight losses. Lose 2 out of 3. They're heading home. 3 against the Nationals coming up this week, and then Philly again. For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review. We got a bunch of reviews this week. We appreciate them all. I'm Bob Walters. He's Brett Grasso from the Brian Gunzel Studios. See ya.